Good morning. I'd like to call to order to the April 9th, 2021 meeting of the Nebraska Board of Regents. Please call roll.
Regent Beal.
Here.
Regent Miller. Here. Regent Moore.
Here.
Regent Schroeder.
Here.
Regent Clare.
Here.
Regent Kenny.
Here.
Regent O'Connor. Here. Regent Ferris.
Here.
Regent Pillen.
Here.
Regent Schaefer.
Here.
Regent Stark.
Here.
Regent Whites. Here. A quorum is present.
Thank you. In your materials, you have a copy of the minutes at the meeting for the February 12th, 2021 meeting. If you, upon your approval, we'll take a motion if there's any correction to these minutes.
Move approval.
Second?
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any questions? Roll call.
Regent Miller. Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Here. Yes.
Regent O'Connor. Yes. Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites. Yes. Regent Clare.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. In compliance with the Nebraska Open Meetings Act, the board has posted a copy of the act on the south wall of the boardroom behind the seating area for the press. And before we kind of get started with this meeting, I happened to see a unique story on the news. Kayla Meyer was raised in Beatrice, Nebraska. She's a senior at UNL, majoring in psychology with minors in sociology, educational psychology, child, youth, and family studies. Kayla currently serves as captain of the Nebraska Cheer Squad, is a member of the Phi Beta Phi Honor Society, and also serves as the College of Arts and Sciences as an ambassador. Last month, Kayla was having lunch with her mother at Applebee's in Lincoln when she noticed another customer had fallen to the ground and was having a seizure. At first, Kayla didn't know what to move him, but when she realized he was turning blue and wasn't breathing, she knew she had to act fast. Kayla used her newly acquired CPR skills and sprang into action. Thanks to her efforts, the man's life was saved and has since been able to thank her in person. Kayla's heroic action demonstrates a true Husker grit. We wish her well on graduation this May, and she continues her graduate education with the goal of becoming a marriage and family therapist. Kayla, could you please stand? Please join me in recognizing Kayla Meyer for her life-saving efforts. Thank you and congratulations. First up on our agenda, would you please join me in welcoming our guest, Senator Mike Hilgers. We truly appreciate the time he is taking out of his busy schedule to be here with us this morning. President Carter, I'll turn it over to you to introduce Speaker Hilgers.
Thank you, Chair Kenny. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Speaker of the Nebraska Legislature, Mike Hilgers. Elected to the Nebraska Legislature in 2016 and re-elected in 2020, Senator Mike Hilgers represents District 21 that covers Northwest Lincoln and Lancaster County. As a freshman lawmaker, Senator Hilgers was elected by his peers to be the chair of the legislature's Rules Committee, where he ensured a fair process so that everyone had a voice in our unique unicameral system. In 2019, Senator Hilgers was elected to serve as the chair of the Executive Board of the Legislative Council, which oversees the institutional functioning and budget of the legislature. In his legislative service, Senator Hilgers has served on the Transportation and Telecommunications Committee and the Government, Military, and Veterans Affairs Committee, and a number of special committees, including the Performance Audit Committee. In January 2021, Senator Hilgers was elected unanimously as the Speaker of the Legislature. Speaker Hilgers is only the third lawmaker from Lincoln selected as Speaker since the state adopted the unicameral system of government in 1937. Speaker Hilgers is an entrepreneur and small business owner who has built one of the fastest growing law firms in the country. As a founding partner with Hilgers Graben PLLC, Speaker Hilgers has consistently been named to the Great Plains Super Lawyers list. A born and raised Nebraskan, Mike and his wife Heather live and work in Northwest Lincoln, raising their 4 children, Alice, Elsie, Clara Jane, and Michael Jr. Mr. Speaker, it is an honor to have you join the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and Administration today to share a perspective of the state's business during this legislative session. And I know you were up late last night getting the budget approved. We are welcoming you and welcome your vision for Nebraska as the Speaker of the Legislature. The floor is yours.
I don't know if does this mic work? I guess not. I'll use my dad voice. Good morning. Thank you for that introduction. President Carter, Board of Regents, members of the Board of Regents, distinguished guests. It is my honor to be with you here today, and on behalf of my 48 colleagues in the legislature and the 1.9, nearly 2 million people that we represent across the state of Nebraska, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for the service that you give to the state, to your constituents, and to this great university. I'm here this morning to give you an update on our legislative work and business that we're conducting this legislative session. And in some ways, that update can be given to you in metrics and figures in reference to LBs, all of which are important. And I can do some of that right now. Yesterday, as an example, we passed on general file LB 380, which is our mainline budget bill, a $9.7 billion 2-year budget that represents the priorities of the state of Nebraska. It's a budget bill that is fiscally responsible, it's disciplined, keeps growth under 3%, provides money for our service providers across the state, fully funds the university, our education system, has our cash fund fully funded, and is responsible for the state of Nebraska. We also passed, relevant to this great institution, LB 384 on general file, a bill that was called a futuristic attempt that will ultimately, we project, save $1.5 billion over the next 40 years as part of the maintaining the building and capital stock of the University of Nebraska. We also have non-budgetary accomplishments that we have accomplished this year, or that we hope to. For instance, LB 388, my personal priority bill, which would put $40 million of quick-hitting funds into communities across our state to quickly build out broadband infrastructure. We know, especially in light of the pandemic and this paradigm-shifting change that we are seeing with work from home, the opportunity that that's presented to a state like Nebraska to be able to recruit families, keep talent, recruit capital, build businesses, and improve our state if we have broadband infrastructure. We also have LB 40, LB 544, 2 bills brought by senators from different ends of both the ideological spectrum and different ends of the state that are meant to help grow parts of our community that sometimes are forgotten. Greater Nebraska communities such as North Platte or communities such as North Omaha. We have bills like Senator Brandt's Farm to School bill, which will connect our world-class agricultural industry with the next generation of students in Nebraska. I could go on and on with the work we have done in reference to metrics and bills and dollars, all of which are important. What I would like to do is maybe give you an update that I think goes far beyond this year, far beyond the 107th legislature in which I serve, and hopefully far beyond our service to generations of Nebraskans to come. And to be able to give you that update, I think it would be important to give you a little bit of context from my perspective. I think if we were to sit together and talk about what are the ingredients of success, we probably would all come up with a different list. But I think we could probably circle a few that we could all agree upon. And I want to give to you 4 that I think are particularly appropriate for this meeting here this morning. The first is a search for the truth. I think one of the greatest gifts that humankind has given the world is the scientific method. The idea that we could use our curiosity and our modesty and humility to test hypotheses, experiment, understand that we might be wrong, change our approach, get better, innovate, draw inferences that could create inventions that can help mankind. Untold millions of billions of people, the entire earth has benefited from the scientific method in ways that we cannot quantify. That is something that is inherent in this wonderful institution. Whether it's the Department of Physics or UNMC and the amazing Cancer Center, the Buffett Center, or throughout the other parts of the campus and other departments, The search for the truth is inherent in this institution. And that search will lead to not just benefits for Nebraskans today, but potentially inventions that could lead to success across generations. The second thing is visionary leadership. In my view, it's critical to always look in front of you to make sure where your next step is going to be so you don't trip, you don't fall, you don't twist your ankle. But it is equally critical, if not more so, to know where you're going so that you can actually get to your destination. And here at the university, visionary leadership should be written right under the title University of Nebraska. Over the last year and a half, I've had the great pleasure of seeing President Carter, getting to know Linda, his wife, and observing the amazing transformational leadership you have provided to not just this institution, but our state. Former Speaker, Chancellor Christensen, and in his leadership, or Chancellor Green or Chancellor Gold, the leadership at this university is best in class, and it's visionary, and it's setting a course for this institution that is a model for the rest of us. In addition to visionary leadership and a search for truth, I also think there needs to be a focus on the things that unify the human spirit. We're more than just numbers. We're more than just facts. It's music, it's art, it's culture, it's history, it's religion, athletic competition. All of those things this university has in spades. And finally, I think if we're going to list the ingredients to success that matter most, I think it has to be universal. It has to not just apply to some of us or some communities or some small group of privileged individuals. It has to apply to all of us. And in this regard, of course, the university stands out. It's not the University of Nebraska for privileged kids. It's not the University of Nebraska for Lincoln residents or the University of Nebraska of Northwest Nebraska. It is the University of Nebraska, full stop. Now, I think when you have those ingredients of success and you combine them with the best elements of human nature, hard work, humility, modesty, character, grace, joy, charity, you can have tremendous transformational accomplishments. And even though it's hard, we know that this can be accomplished. And I'll tell you, in my own life, I know how hard it is to accomplish even some of the basics in a family, let alone a business, let alone a university, let alone a state. I have 4 little kids, and sometimes it's a challenge to get everyone out the door with their hair combed and the shirts on straight. It's difficult. We did do it successfully today on the way out here. But to do it across the state and to set a course for an entire almost 2 million people is incredibly difficult, but we know it can be done. And if there's any greater evidence that it has been done and can be done, it is this university and the value, unquantifiable value that this university has provided, or our world-class agricultural economy, or our amazing philanthropic sector, or the Fortune 500 companies that have grown up out of Nebraska dirt with Nebraskan hands. We know it can be done, and I think the challenge for us is not just to take these gifts that have been given to us and be good stewards. It is to think about what are the gifts that we can create for those next generation of Nebraskans, who maybe in 50 or 60 years from now, when some maybe unborn speaker comes to some board of regents filled with people who are not yet on this earth and tells them about how they are good stewards of the gifts that maybe we can give to them. That's a tall challenge, and it's one I think that is made more difficult in light of what we live through today. In my, at least adult life, it feels like there are more headwinds to success than at any other time in my adult life. And we see it. We see it with the hyperactive culture that we seem to live in, the political discord, people being torn apart, people being attacked, people being distracted, things that maybe take us away from the search for truth. Instead of a search for truth, sometimes we might get garbled truth. So we face challenging headwinds. But I'm here to report to you, and this is the update that I care most about, that you have a Nebraska legislature, the 107th legislature, that is ready, willing, and able to drive through those headwinds and work towards transformational change. You, of course, all know that the institution itself is designed for this. It is truly designed for this. We are the only unicameral in the country, which means one body is not pitted against another body. We're the only legislative branch in the country that's nonpartisan, which means there's not a political caucus that just tells everyone what to do, that is directly responsive to the political winds. It is the smallest legislative body in the country, which means instead of having to navigate 300 relationships or some untold number that might take all 5 years to be able to get to know your colleagues, it only has 49. You and 24 friends can change the fate of the entire state. The institution is ready to be a partner in change, and the people who serve within the institution are ready to be a partner in the change. In the last 5 years, I've had the great pleasure and honor to be able to get to know the vast majority of my colleagues who I'm serving with today. I know their character. I know who they are. I've gotten to know the recent senators that have come in this year, and have had the great fortune to be their speaker over the last 3.5 months. And I will tell you, the quality of the people are what we need to make transformational change. We have visionaries. We have hard workers. We have people who will listen. We have people who have modesty, humility, who will do the right thing, who will seek truth, who will try to make our state better and cut through the headwinds that are in front of us. What we need are partners. We can't do it ourselves. We can't do it alone, nor should we. Success, if I were to add a fifth ingredient of success, probably would be don't do it alone. Find good teammates, find good partners. We're looking for good teammates, and we're looking for good partners. And one of the reasons I'm ecstatic to be here this morning is because there could not be a better teammate in what we're trying to do than the University of Nebraska. The depth of talent and energy and desire to make our state better that it exists within this institution is unparalleled. The depth of intellectual capital within this institution is unparalleled. And I extend my hand here this morning on behalf of all my 48 colleagues, a hand of friendship and teamwork, one that is behind which is 48 senators and colleagues that have a lot of energy, have a real sense of urgency to get something major and transformational done for our state that can impact the next several generations of Nebraskans. There's a tremendous amount of work to do, so I will stop talking and let's get going. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of urgency. But what I'm excited about is coming back next year, if you'll have me, Mr. President, and updating you on the work we've done between now and then, because I think we're on the cusp of doing something that can set the vision for the whole state of Nebraska with the right leadership as we pursue truth in a way that draws the unity of the human spirit, and we can do it together, and I'm more than excited to be your partner in that effort. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Speaker Hilgers. As I have said many times, one of our jobs in leadership positions is to inspire others. But first, you must clearly be inspired yourself. I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind here in this room today that you are truly inspired. On behalf of the entire University of Nebraska, I thank you for your inspirational words and your leadership. Thank you again. I now want to take a few moments to recognize the 2020 recipients of the Presidential Medal of Service, the Agriculture Builders of Nebraska. I am pleased that we finally have the opportunity to recognize them in person. We created the Presidential Medal a few years ago to recognize Nebraskans who have gone above and beyond in advocating for an outstanding, affordable university system. These Nebraskans made an enormous difference when it comes to our successful partnership with elected leaders like Speaker Hilgers and his colleagues. Senators love hearing from constituents about how the university has impacted their lives, supported their businesses, and touched their communities. The Ag Builders are among our greatest champions. Their 225 members are engaged across the state in telling citizens and elected leaders about the impact of the university's teaching, research, and outreach programs, particularly those in our Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources. In fact, Ag Builders played a key role in IANR's establishment, helping to give agriculture its due visibility and prioritization within our university system. Of course, the Ag Builders are familiar with IANR's work and the role we play in educating Nebraska's future agricultural leaders, as well as the groundbreaking research our faculty are doing in ag and natural resources. Supporting Nebraska's most important industry has always been and will always be one of the highest priorities of the University of Nebraska. But the Ag Builders are also passionate champions for the entire university system. They have testified in support before the legislature. They host events to advocate for our legislative priorities, and they regularly engage with elected leaders to share stories about the work and impact of our university. In short, the University of Nebraska system would not be in a position of strength that we enjoy today without the support of the agriculture builders of Nebraska. It is my great honor to present them with a Presidential Medal of Service. Now, before I invite Homer Buell, president of the Ag Builders, to accept the Presidential Medal on behalf of the group, I want to allow Chancellor Green and Vice Chancellor Mike Boehm to add a few comments if they would like. Ronnie, I'd like to give you a chance to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much, President Carter. I cannot think of a more fitting group to be recognized with the Presidential Medal of Service. We are very unique in Nebraska amongst the land-grant university system in the United States to have an organization like the Ag Builders. There is nothing like it anywhere else in the country that advocates and supports the teaching, research, and outreach activities associated with everything under the Agriculture and Natural Resources umbrella. So congratulations, Homer and the Ag Builders team. It's a very fitting honor for the Ag Builders.
Thunder there. I want to echo Ronnie's comments and your comments, President Carter. This is an amazing group of individuals, men and women from all 93 counties. This is the unicameral special. The Ag Builders of Nebraska is absolutely unique and special among the 50 states and the land-grant universities that have the privilege of serving the people of their great states. We would not be where we are, the third largest ag economy in the country. We wouldn't be the institution that we are without the support of these individuals. So Homer and to the entire crew that was out in the hallway, congratulations. It's a privilege and an honor to work with each of you.
Thank you, President Carter, and thank you for the kind comments, Chancellor Green and Vice Chancellor Mike Boehm. At Ag Builders, throughout the years, has been led by a lot of great leaders. And starting the 50 years ago when we started working with the legislature and helping, as was mentioned earlier, to start the Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources. I've got a few of the leaders with me today, some of our president, executive board, as well as some of our immediate past presidents. So I'd like to introduce them real quickly. Roger Werbine, past president, Bart Ruth, and then Ben Steffen, both past presidents. Kirk Jameson is our president treasurer. Lisa Luntz is our vice, or our president-elect, and Corey Burke, who is our secretary. So thank you for all the leadership you have given us, as well as the many throughout the years. So. These individuals, along with countless others, helped start the Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources. And those people, I think they had a vision. I mean, they were all believers very much in the value of education and what it could do for our state. And they had a vision to do something that would help enhance and improve agriculture in Nebraska. And I think in the end would improve and enhance the entire state, life for every Nebraskan. We are an organization that isn't out front. We don't have press conferences. We like to work behind the scenes. And we're very much about building relationships, whether it be with the governor, with our state senators, and with you, the Regents. And with the end of working with and through the Institute of Agriculture and the entire University of Nebraska system to improve the education, the teaching that the students receive, the outreach that we, all of us stakeholders that live around the state, that we receive from the research and the teaching and everything that's done at the University of Nebraska. You know, this past 50 years has been an outstanding partnership. I look forward to the next 50 years that we will continue that partnership, to continue to work with and through the university to make agriculture better in this state, but also make the entire state of Nebraska better because of that. So thank you, President Carter. We appreciate this award very much. We're very excited and very honored, and thank you again.
Thank you, Homer. And I'd also like to point out, with such an astute group in here, there's now 2 people from Amherst, Nebraska in this room. So, Corey, good to see you, man. Thank you, President Carter. On behalf of the board, a sincere thank you to both Speaker Hilgers and the Ag Builders of Nebraska for their support for the university. At the beginning of each Board of Regents meeting, we take time to recognize those persons who too often don't receive the recognition they deserve. The Board of Regents believes that it's very important to acknowledge their commitment as well as the contributions to their university. To have been nominated by either a supervisor or a fellow worker in honor in or of itself. Following the presentation of these kudos award, please step forward for a photo, which we'll post on our website. The President, Chancellor, and recipients' families, supporters will be part of the photo, along with the Regent presenting the award. The first kudos recipient is Jamie Keisler from the University of Nebraska at Kearney, and the award will be presented by Regent Beal. Regent?
Thank you, Regent Kenny. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I'm proud to present a kudos award to Jamie Kester, Office Associate for the Department of Cyber Systems and Industrial Technology at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Jamie joined UNK's staff in October 2010 as an Office Associate for Industrial Technology, and in June 2020 transitioned to also providing support for cyber systems. Aside from being a wife and mother and balancing work and home, she says that, quote, building relationships with coworkers and students to create a strong team and enjoyable work environment ranks first in the accomplishments of which she is most proud. Also high on that list is the assistance she provided in organizing the move of 2 departments into UNK's newly constructed Discovery Hall, a monumental task in the best of times, but made much more difficult by the challenges that came with COVID-19. Jamie's other responsibilities include maintaining a professional office atmosphere, assisting students, visitors, and faculty, and providing support to department chairs, monitoring budgets, travel and inventory, assisting with searches, program accreditation, and annual scholarship awards, and the myriad of details that come under the heading, quote, providing other support as needed. He also served on Staff Senate and on the University-wide Benefits Committee, and is a recipient of UNK's Employee Achievement Award and Teamwork Excellence Award. Colleagues describe Jamie as an independent thinker, as having a good grasp on her position, being able to work with little assistance, and a true team player. She's both effective and efficient, and she is a pleasure to work with, says Tim Jarris, Dean of the College of Business and Technology. Jarris says her people skills make her analytical and problem-solving skills, match her analytical and problem-solving skills. She makes UNK and CBT better, and that's what we should all strive for. With Jamie today is her husband Todd and their children, Madison and Max. Congratulations to Jamie Kester for her exceptional contributions. What she does each day makes a difference, not only to students of cyber systems and industrial technology, but to the entire university.
Yeah, come on. This is yours.
Congratulations, Jamie. Regent Miller will present the Kudos Award to Jeff Burdick from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
The Board of Regents is pleased to present a Kudos Award to J. Jeff Burdick, Assistant Director for Business Advising and Student Engagement in the College of Business at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Jeff has been an impactful member of the College of Business community for over 18 years. He is the problem solver, the student advocate, the person to speak up when a process or procedure will make things more complicated for students. Jeff not only exemplifies each of the College of Business guiding principles, make it matter, he personifies the university principle of every person and every interaction matters. Each year, the UNL Parents Association asks parents to nominate a faculty or staff employee who have made a significant difference in their student's life. Jeff has been recognized numerous years by students' parents. Student feedback is also overwhelmingly positive as Jeff takes time to hear students' questions and their underlying needs. The students themselves say it best. He went above and beyond to help me figure out what classes to take. He was very patient and helpful throughout the whole process. Jeff was very understanding and very helpful. He made me feel like he really wanted to help me and actually cared about me as a person and a student. Jeff Burdick is probably my favorite person in the College of Business. Since I was a freshman, he has helped me so much and given me such amazing advice. Now that we're planning my senior year, it is such a relief that I still have Jeff to guide and help. Jeff utilizes ideation and restorative strengths quite often and has been instrumental in efforts to improve policies and procedures in the office and across the college. Most recently, it was as simple as noticing the opportunity for additional improvements to the substitution and waiver form rather than just making one tweak. Advisors are quick to seek Jeff's advice and insight, not only because he is a fountain of knowledge, but also because of his kind, personable, and relatable approach in his responses. Joining Jeff today is his wife, Stephanie. Please join me in thanking Jeff for his dedication to the College of Business and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Hello, hello, come on in. Jeff, congratulations. Hold on.
Congratulations, Jeff. Lisa Mushall from the University of Nebraska Medical Center is our next recipient. Regent Weiss will make that presentation. Regent?
I'm pleased to present a Kudos Award to Lisa Mushall, Director of Administration and Operations in the UNMC College of Nursing. Lisa's expertise is in process improvements, which benefit the College of Nursing and its divisions in Omaha, Lincoln, Norfolk, Kearney, and Scottsbluff. Lisa, for example, worked with staff to create an innovative process for selecting staff recipients of the Outstanding Performance Stipend. She also works regularly with faculty and staff across 5 divisions to evaluate position descriptions when there's an opening and re-envision what is most needed to achieve the college's goals and mission. Lisa never relies on easy solutions and simply maintaining the status quo. Her nominator said instead she tries to take the time needed to reflect and think about an issue or opportunity so we can use change as an occasion for growth and transformation. Lisa's nominators praised her skills in financial analysis, business planning, and human resources. Her concern and compassion, they said, is focused first and foremost on excellence, safety, quality, and caring for nursing's internal and external constituents. After the death of a colleague this past year, Lisa helped redistribute the work, train those who were picking up new responsibilities, and identify someone who could help on a temporary basis. Said her nominator, this was a monumental responsibility on top of the grief brought about by a colleague's passing. Colleagues praised Lisa for her support of others and for fostering a culture of growth, learning, and leadership development. Her nominator said Lisa is a uniquely talented individual and a true asset to the College of Nursing and UNMC. Today, Lisa is joined by Dr. Julie Sebastian, her supervisor, and Scott Mushall, the spouse, lucky spouse. Please join me in thanking Lisa for her vision, commitment, and support of UNMC and the College of Nursing.
Congratulations, Lisa. Lori Arias from the University of Nebraska at Omaha is our next recipient, and the award will be presented by Regent O'Connor. Regent?
The University of Nebraska Board of Regents is pleased to present a kudos award to Lori Arias, Associate Director of International Advising for the University of Nebraska Omaha's International Programs Office. Lori has been a part of the International Advising Team since 1988, which she joined after serving in the U.S. Peace Corps in community development. In her role, she helps lead the team that supports students from various countries arriving in the United States navigate the process of beginning their studies at UNO, including assisting students with airport pickup, shopping, and arranging housing. Lori continues to provide assistance to international students throughout their time at UNO by advising them on a variety of matters, including acting as a point person for questions on visas and helping students adapt to a new culture. Among other roles, Lori also serves as a 24-hour on-call resource for any crises these students may encounter. The support Lori provides students has been extremely vital during times of the international crisis, but especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, where many international students were unsure of what the future would hold and how they could stay enrolled as travel was grounded in and out of the United States. Lori's ability to be an advocate for international students is tied to her own experiences as an exchange student at UNO. She traveled to Bolivia and Peru during her time as a student and was the first student to travel to Japan under a now 42-year partnership with Shizuoka University, located in Omaha's oldest sister city, in Shizuoka, Japan. Generations of students have since traveled between the two countries, with Lori serving a vital role and bridging the two universities. Since its inception, she has served as a coordinator of the annual Shizuoka Summer Tour, where students from Japan spend 2 weeks in Omaha exploring the city and state of Nebraska. In 2019, during a 40-year celebration of the partnership, Lori was publicly honored for her years of commitment to the international student experience. For these reasons, the countless hours spent advocating for global engagement and global partnerships, the care with which she treats each student, regardless of background, and the passion for the work done by UNO and the University of Nebraska system, Lori is truly an invaluable asset, not just to the University of Nebraska, but to the city and state. With Lori today is her children, AJ and Rosalia. Please join me in thanking Lori for her dedication to the University of Nebraska at Omaha and its students.
Congratulations, Lori. Again, I'd like to thank all of our kudos recipients for their dedication and support for the University of Nebraska and its mission. This is the last board meeting for our student regents. We would like to present resolutions in recognition of their contribution and service to the university and the Board of Regents. First resolution honors Max Beal from the University of Nebraska at Kearney. The resolution will be presented by Regent Ferris.
Excuse me. One of the exciting things about serving on the Board of Regents is the opportunity to serve with our student regents. One of the disappointing things is about the time you get acquainted with them, they're gone. And it's time then for a new group to come along. But I have appreciated working with all of our student regents. Whereas Max Beal has served with distinction as a member of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, president of the Associated Students of the University of Nebraska Kearney, and whereas Regent Beal has interacted with members of the Board of Regents and the university administration with maturity and professionalism, and his input has been appreciated and highly valued. And whereas through sound and effective leadership, Regent Beal has established trust and holds the respect of UNK students and faculty. And whereas UNK's leadership team has respected and relied upon Regent Beal's honest and fair representation of the student voice, his advocacy for international and diverse student populations, his support for UNK veteran student organization, and his promotion of the importance of every student to the campus community and culture. And whereas Regent Beal has been a driving force behind prioritizing fraternity and sorority life at UNK, and whereas Regent Beal has contributed immensely to address student challenges brought by the worldwide pandemic, including advocating for a pass-no-pass grading system for the spring 2020 semester, a safe in-person reopening with thoughtful online consideration, a reduction in student fees for the fall 2021 semester for non-functioning services, such as athletics, and flexibility regarding campus parking. And whereas Regent Beal has made a profound impact on the University of Nebraska at Kearney as a role model and as a young man with outstanding work ethic, high standards, and as a leader. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the University of Nebraska Board of Regents expresses its most sincere appreciation for the exemplary contributions of Regent Max Beal during his term of office and wishes him well in the promising future that awaits. Congratulations.
Thank you, Max. The next resolution honors Ronnie Miller from the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, and the resolution will be presented by Regent Claire. Regent?
I thought Max was going to sing his fight song. Don't they sing the fight song anymore?
It's coming.
It's coming? Okay, all right. I think picking up on what Bob said, this year has been especially tough for to have the opportunity to really get to meet a lot of the student regents and get to know them really well, like we have in the past, because we just haven't had the in-person meetings, in-person discussions, and that's too bad. Last night we had a dinner, and it was a great opportunity to get to see everybody, and I think it was fun just to be out with everyone, and especially get the chance to meet these tremendous young people. You know, a lot of people in my generation are critical of their generation because, gosh, they don't work very hard. Maybe they're lazy, and I can tell you, I wish those people would have the opportunity to meet this group of students that serve as the student body presidents of our various campuses, because I'm very bullish about our future and very bullish about our state with them leading it. So Ronnie in particular, has been a privilege to work with on the board, and not only does she work on, did we have the opportunity to work with her on the board, but she also works in my office. And so it's been a great opportunity to get to know her and get to see her work, and she's a clear leader in every sense of the word, and so it's really been a privilege, Ronnie. So whereas the student regent Ronnie Miller has served with distinction as a member of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and as president of the Association of Students of the University of Nebraska, ASUN, for the 2020-2021 term, and whereas Regent Miller worked with administrators and decision makers to ensure a safe return and an in-person instruction through leadership on the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Forward to Fall Committee and COVID-19 Task Force by advocating for flexible student accommodations and improved academic policies. And whereas Regent Miller has served as a member of the System Title IX Committee, UNL Collaborative on Sexual Misconduct, and as co-chair of the UNL Student Policy and Procedures Committee on Sexual Misconduct in an effort to reduce sexual and gender violence among college students. And whereas under Regent Miller's leadership, ASUN passed resolutions and submitted testimony in support of numerous bills in the Nebraska legislature and directly benefit the University of Nebraska, including testifying on behalf of all University of Nebraska students on LB 588 regarding deferred maintenance. And whereas Regent Miller has prioritized diversity, inclusion, and equity-related projects within ASUN student government and across the university system in special partnership with UNL's Black Student Union and other underrepresented students, and whereas Regent Miller has focused on increased transparency and improved communication efforts with UNL leaders through town hall meetings, listening sessions, and other feedback-centered events, especially related to key student concerns. And whereas Regent Miller served on the Board of Regents, Business and Finance Committee, working closely with Vice President for Business and Finance and CFO Chris Kaborik on an environmental, social, and governance policy amendment to the Board of Regents bylaws. And when we say all these things that she did, she wasn't just a member on the committee. She was actively engaged in participating actively on all these committees. So it's really a tribute to her. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the University of Nebraska Board of Regents expresses sincere appreciation for Regent Ronnie Miller's exemplary service and effective leadership as a member of the board and wishes her well in all her future endeavors.
Thanks, Ronnie. The next resolution is for Tom Schroeder of the University of Nebraska Medical Center. It will be presented by Regent Schaefer.
Whereas Thomas Schroeder has served as a member of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and is president of the University of Nebraska Medical Center Student Senate during the 2021 term, and whereas Regent Schroeder represented himself, his institution, his fellow students with dignity and integrity during board meetings and events, and he has served as a vocal and unwavering advocate for students throughout the UNMC and the NU system. And whereas during his time as a student at UNMC, Regent Schroeder and his fellow students, regents, family, faculty, staff, mentors, and university leaders dealt with unprecedented challenges during a pandemic that brought economic and health anxiety, took learning off campus and into a virtual setting, and disrupted everyday life in ways large and small. And whereas Regent Schroeder not only faced these challenges as an individual, but also took on leadership and support roles to ensure that we and all of the individuals and communities that make up our university made it through while continuing the momentum that is so crucial to our individual and shared success. And whereas during this time as a student at UNMC, Regent Schroeder has carried out these leadership positions and responsibilities while balancing the demands of medical school and rotations. And whereas Regent Schroeder helped lead UNMC students in efforts related to divestment from fossil fuels, student advocacy to keep education affordable, anti-racism, and community outreach, and following support of students receiving COVID-19 vaccinations. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the University of Nebraska Board of Regents expresses its sincere appreciation for Regent Tom Schroeder's dedicated service and effective leadership as a member of the board, and wishes him success in all of his future endeavors.
Congratulations, Tom. Jabin Moore from the University of Nebraska at Omaha is our next student honoree. The resolution will be presented by Regent Pillen. Regent?
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to make one comment to thank all the students. I've been so impressed with everybody's ability to critically think and express yourself. You are an incredible class, so thanks for all your efforts. Whereas Jabin Moore has served with distinction as a member of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and president of the University of Nebraska at Omaha Student Government for the term 2020-21. And whereas during this time as a student at UNO, Regent Moore has held multiple campus leadership positions beyond student government president and regent, while balancing the demands of a student and community leader. And whereas in all his leadership roles, especially as a member of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, Regent Moore has actively listened and elevated the voices of his fellow students to inform decisions made by the Board of Regents. And whereas Regent Moore, as president of the UNO student government, has worked hard to include diverse voices and welcome divergent perspectives to improve not just himself, but the entire student experience at UNO. And whereas during his term as president, Regent Moore led UNO's student government with kindness, integrity, and understanding, even against the backdrop of a deadly global pandemic and social unrest. And whereas through a commitment to inclusive leadership, a desire to better his community, and a thirst for justice, Regent Moore has gained the admiration and respect of UNO administration, faculty, staff, and students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the University of Nebraska Board of Regents commend Regent Jabin Moore for his outstanding service and his dedication to the University of Nebraska, and we wish him success in all of his future undertakings. Congratulations, Regent Moore.
Congratulations, Jabin. If there's no objection, I suggest that these resolutions be adopted by acclamation. Hearing no objections, they are so adopted. And it'd probably be an appropriate time to see how good they are at singing their fight song, same order that you were presented. Max?
Well, I definitely wasn't prepared for this. This wasn't in the job description. I think Jabin and I were talking about this last night. But I did Google the fight song, so I'll go ahead and, I won't sing it, but I'll go ahead and read it all out for you guys. I'm just not a big singer, so. Come on and fight for UNK. March on to victory all the way. Keep up your fighting spirit. We'll always cheer it. That's what we're here for. That's what we'll cheer for. Fight for the blue and gold. Cheer for the blue and gold. And together we stand proud of the best in the land. We fight for UNK. Kearney, go Lopers. Kearney. Kearney. Kearney.
Ronnie?
So I actually have some people helping me. So maybe we should all just stand in the center together and sing as one team. Chancellor Green and Vice Chancellor May. No, we're all going to sing together. So I'm going to stand and we're all going to stand together to sing. Yeah.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Okay, well.
Thomas, I guess who's next?
I don't believe UNMC has a fight song to my knowledge. I had originally been thinking about singing one of the songs from Top Gun, like You've Lost That Loving Feeling. I don't know if that would be the most appropriate for a university song, but I'll try and ad-lib something right now in terms of the fighting stethoscopes. So, the fighting stethoscopes will take down COVID-19. Please stay healthy. Wear your mask, wash your hands. We'll leave it at that.
Jabin, guess
All
who's
right,
last?
I guess. But I do have some Mavericks in the building with me. So Chancellor Gold, Dr. Kopp. We have a previous Maverick on the board. Would you all help me? Okay, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it just like Lincoln. Oh, and we have Lori. Lori, come on. Do you guys know our fights? Because I found it.
You found it? Yeah, he did.
All right.
You know the tune?
I do know.
You're a teacher.
Wait.
You have audio like a.
Bear with us, okay? Oh, that might be better.
We sing it to the song of like Old Lang Syne or something.
Here, let me.
Yeah, our technology break.
Yep, we're gonna get it though.
You want me to throw my coat over the top?
Is this?
I
Did I
can
play
stand in
this?
front of you.
Okay. We will fight for my. Yeah. No lyrics. Okay. Oh, you know it?
Oh, yeah, got it.
Okay, ready? We will fight for our
Vikings. We will. Let me find. Let me find the lyrics because that'll be better. Okay. Sorry, you guys. It wasn't.
This is the closest thing we do to hate.
We will fight for our Mavericks. We will fight for our team. Everyone knows when that old whistle blows. We will shout, we will yell, we will scream. Go Mavs! We will fight for our Mavericks. We will cheer so all fans will know. Be it win or lose a draw, everyone knows for Omaha. UNO! UNO! All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Today is also the last meeting for our faculty senate presidents. I want to thank UNK's Martonia Gaskill, UNL's Nicole Baum, UNMC's Brandy Clark, and UNO's Elliot Osler. The Board of Regents bylaws call upon the faculty of each campus to establish a faculty senate that serves us as the official voice for the faculty. The faculty senate address a wide variety of issues across their campuses and the entire university. They advise and consult with students, staff, and administration on matters such as the budget, institutional planning, and academic standards. They are called upon to help protect academic freedom. They serve us well. Their diverse talents, interests, and accomplishments represent the kind of faculty that make the university great. This group of faculty presidents have been particularly engaged in their service. Many thanks to all of you and your dedication to your fellow faculty and University of Nebraska. Please join me in thanking them for their service. While our kudos recipients and their guests are most welcome to stay and observe the balance of the meeting, if you wish to leave, we would take no offense, and you may do so at this time. Thank you for coming. Thank you. So we just start here, Daisha, or, okay. Each of our board meetings, we have the opportunity for public comments. The standing rules for the Board of Regents that any person may appear and address the Board of Regents on items that are not on the agenda if the individual provides the corporation secretary within 24 hours notice. In addition, anyone desiring to speak on matters that are all on the agenda for this meeting, regardless of notice, may do so. In accordance with Section 7.1 of our standing rules, we are allowed to waive any or all the standing rules during the duration of the meeting. The only meeting in which we are waived. I would like to call on Regent Stark to present a motion to waive the certain portions of the standing rules with respect to this public comment.
Public comment portion of our meeting today. Move to waive those portions and rules. 5 minutes per person. Total time public comment 30 minutes for all speakers. Move. Chair of the board be authorized to preside over the public comment portion of this meeting in such a manner that will sufficiently and efficiently inform the members of the board.
Thank you, Regent Stark. Is there a second?
Second.
Barbe, second. Roll call, please.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Yes.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer, Regent Stark,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Yes.
Regent Clare,
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. I want to review the plans for the public portion of this meeting today. We will hear from a number of people today, but we also intend to conduct an efficient, orderly meeting. Therefore, each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, which will allow more people to express their opinions than normally provided by the standing rules. The corporate secretary will keep track of the time and notify the speaker when there is 1 minute remaining, and again, when the speaker's time has expired. The total period for the public's comment will be extended to accommodate all individuals who wish to speak today. We have been contacted by 3 individuals who wish to speak on the topics that are not on the agenda this morning. When your name is called, please identify yourself, and your 3 minutes will begin. Jennifer, and I apologize for your pronunciation of your name, Brungert, asked to speak on the topic of COVID restrictions this fall. Jennifer?
Thank you for letting me speak, and I apologize in advance if my comments are slightly disjointed because I did prepare for the 5 minutes. So I'm here to talk to you about my concerns about the University of Nebraska students this coming fall. I'm excited because the cavalry has arrived in the form of vaccines. The COVID vaccines are nothing short of miraculous. That they could become available in a year's time is a monumental achievement of science. It's wonderful to see families reuniting with elderly members, to see people in long-term care and assisted living centers finally able to have visitors and enjoy a trip to the store or church. Right now, the numbers vary on the efficacy of the vaccines for preventing an infection, but they all appear to be almost 100% effective at preventing serious illness and death. We should be taking a victory lap and looking towards a return to normalcy this fall. Instead, colleges across the country are starting to announce their fall plans to require all students to get a vaccine to return to campus. I have been increasingly alarmed by the number of colleges that are moving to a vaccine requirement, including 2 in our own Big Ten conference. UNL has not announced a vaccine mandate, so you might be asking yourself why I'm here talking about this today. It's because I understand that there is a public relations and appearance aspect to running a university, and that some actions are taken for those reasons. Learning which way the wind is blowing can drive decisions. I want to be clear that the wind that is blowing across Ivy League campuses and colleges on the coast is not the same wind that blows in Nebraska. Nebraska has successfully managed the pandemic by being mostly open and allowing people to make their own choices. A vaccine mandate would not be accepted quietly by families who send their students to the University of Nebraska. Why would we risk an experimental medical intervention for young people at so little risk for severe outcomes? In fact, the flu has a higher fatality rate in this age group, but we don't mandate flu shots for college students. This age group has a higher chance of dying in a car accident or falling down the stairs in the dorms, but we've not blocked off the stairwells or mandated public transportation. If the vaccines are nearly 100% effective in preventing severe illness and death, then we should focus on the vulnerable. The risks and benefits of the vaccine should be presented to students, and they should be allowed to choose whether or not they want to be vaccinated. In a healthcare setting, the process of informed consent includes your voluntary decision to get treatment. My point is not that the vaccines will cause long-term harm, but rather we just don't know. The vaccines are being distributed under an emergency use authorization, and the trials for the 3 that are being distributed in the United States don't finish until 2022 and 2023. On Pfizer's own information sheet, it states there is no FDA-approved vaccine to prevent COVID-19. A mandate for a medical intervention for a group that has minuscule risk for a vaccine that is not even FDA-approved would boggle the rational mind. But many people abandoned rational thinking a year ago. There are reasons that vaccines and drugs take years to come to market. It is because the only thing that could truly indicate risk is long-term safety data. 1 minute?
Your time is expired.
It's expired.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyways, thank you for your time. I appreciate
Thank you.
what you do here.
Ivy Harper. Ivy is asked to speak on the topic of pivoting in a pandemic to the non-allergic top NU salaries. Thank you. How about Annie Goodman? Annie, are you here? Annie is asked to speak on the topic of the Regents scholarship policy for inter-campus students. Annie?
Hi. Good morning. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Annie Goodman. I'm a sophomore pursuing a degree in political science at UNL with a minor in national security studies. I've recently become an inter-campus degree-seeking student by declaring a second major at UNO in emergency management. However, I've run into a problem with my Regents scholarship. Even though my home campus does not offer the second major that I wish to pursue, that would best prepare me for my future career in emergency operations, my scholarship will not cover tuition for the UNO courses in that major unless I fully transfer to UNO. However, transferring would not solve my problem, as it would require me to abandon the deep roots I've established at UNL, which are important to me professionally and personally. I'm a 4.0 honor student, a resident assistant for university housing, and an on-campus IT employee. My long-term goals are to attend graduate school and to return to Nebraska and work in emergency management, giving back through civil service. The policy that prevents the Regents scholarship from applying to all tuition, regardless of campus within our system, makes me feel as though I may have chosen the wrong university. The current policy fails to support or may actively deter enrollment of academically inclined and driven students who wish to further their education limitedly across the NU system. I want you to know also that I'm not someone who assumes I'm due opportunities or resources without hard work. My original plan to pay for college was to work hard in high school, earn merit-based scholarships like the Regents, and to enroll in the ROTC program, which would both pay for my education and allow me to give back to my country. I did both. However, last fall, I was in a serious car accident in which I suffered a significant spinal injury. I was dismissed from the ROTC program when I became medically ineligible to serve. I now also find myself facing significant medical expenses related to my recovery, on top of figuring out how to pay for my education that will best prepare me for my new career path. I'm here today to ask for the board for two things. First, I would like the board to authorize an immediate exception for my situation and allow my Regents scholarship to apply for courses taken in pursuit of both my majors. This will allow me to continue my education this summer without incurring additional tuition costs that would have been covered by my Regents scholarship if the courses were offered through UNL, or rather being forced to delay progress towards graduation. Second, I'm asking the board to reevaluate the current policy and change it going forward so that inter-campus students admitted to 2 degree-seeking programs on separate NU campuses may apply their Regents scholarship to both programs, assuming the second program is not offered on their home campus. I may simply be caught in an unintended consequence of a policy that made sense at one time. But if the past year has shown us anything, it's that the NU system can do amazing things with online education and technology. These things will only continue to increase ease of access to degree programs that previously would not have been available to students at one campus or another due to physical constraints of time and location. Continuing to stifle inter-campus learning makes us look old-fashioned as a system and will make new students think twice about coming to NU if not all programs that they want to take are offered at the same campus. Why can't we make NU programs accessible to all NU students?
Your time has expired.
Thank you for your time. Go Big Red.
Thank you, Annie. Several individuals have asked to speak out on topics that are on today's agenda. When your name is called, please identify yourself. You have 3 minutes, then they'll begin. Anna Kraus. Anna, are you here?
Good morning, University of Nebraska Regents. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all. My name is Anna Kraus, and I'm a current senior at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm here to testify in support of the University of Nebraska fully divesting from the fossil fuel industry. Both of my parents attended the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and I'm the 4th of my siblings to attend here. I know for a fact that a handful of my little nieces and nephews will follow in our footsteps. My niece Emma has a passion for science. When I think about her attending Nebraska 8 years from now, I want her to know that her university values the science and research departments that she will be a part of. We cannot have climate change as a core element of our curriculum and choose to fund corporations with opposing ideals. I stand to testify not to secure a job, or because it makes a statement on social media, but to educate and because I care about my university that will continue to be a part of my family. Thank you.
Thanks, Ann. Lucas, are you here? Lucas Reef? Cameron Rasler? Cameron, you here? Yep.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cameron Rasler, and I'm a senior in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. I was born and raised in Nebraska and followed in my sister's footsteps in attending UNL. Over the course of earning a degree in engineering from the University of Nebraska, we talk a lot about the Complete Engineer Initiative. There are 6 different core competencies within that initiative. Of those 6, there are 2 that I'd like to highlight today. The first is civic responsibility. A quote from the initiative: "We have a positive impact on the world around us by being engaged, solving problems, and making a difference. We create a better future by actively contributing to our professions and communities." The second competency I'd like to highlight is professionalism and ethics. Quote, "We are trusted and recognized for our integrity as we work to improve the health, safety, and welfare of society. We behave responsibly, ethically, and respectfully." Here's my question to you. Is investing millions of dollars in the fossil fuel industry showing integrity? Is it improving the safety and welfare of society? Is it ethical? Along with the over 600 people who signed our petition, I would conclude that it's none of these things. If Nebraska is going to boast that they develop complete engineers, they need to show us what those values look like. While some of these things are addressed by implementing an ESG policy, divestment is the only way to fully model these values. Thank you.
Thank you. Abigail Ritter, are you here?
Good morning.
Good morning.
As a child of educators who graduated from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I was taught about the importance of both learning and acting on knowledge. It is one thing to know about the world, it's a whole other thing to apply this knowledge to the choices we make every day. I know that the fossil fuel industry has done, and what it has done to shut down climate action and harm communities. I know that they have denied their own science for decades while adapting oil drillers to account for sea level rise. I know that to this day, big oil companies like Exxon and Chevron have clean energy plans that are vague and make no promises of a zero carbon future. I have learned this information through my university, at this very university. My professors have given me the knowledge that the fossil fuel industry is not deserving of second chances. Big oil has tricked us before, and they will do it again. Only they know the true power of a persuasive PR team. While we applaud the ESG policy and how it's a step in the right direction, we expect more than promises of sustainability and clean energy plans. What does this mean? How will we hold these companies accountable? Over the past year, we have given you the facts, and there are too many unknowns and too many ways for the fossil fuel industry to manipulate these sustainable plans. The only way to truly hold these industry accountable is to commit to complete divestment. We gave you the chance to be the first Big Ten school to commit to divestment. Now, a year later, we are fighting to ensure that we are not one of the last. Apply the power of the knowledge we have given you. It's all in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you. Kat Werner, are you here?
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy Earth Month. My name is Kat Warner, and I'm a student here at UNL, majoring in economics, environmental studies, and natural resource economics. I'm also an ASUN student senator. 6 months ago yesterday, I stood before you and asked that we work together to divest NU from the fossil fuel industry. Today, I stand before you again in the exact same spot to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for working. And thank you for making this a priority. I am so excited to see that there is an ESG policy on the agenda today, and I'm proud to be part of a student government that unanimously supported this policy on Wednesday. This is a great first step in addressing the climate crisis our generation faces. In the ESG policy, we want energy companies, and we will only invest in energy companies that have sustainability plans in place. It is time we hold ourselves to that same standard and create a sustainability master plan of our own, one that includes full divestment, carbon neutrality, zero waste, sustainable transportation, integrated pest management policy, and others, of course. Just like last time, we're here ready to work with you. I'll see you all in 6 months.
Thank you. Connor McFadden, are you here?
I'd like to speak on Connor's behalf if that's possible. Hi, I'm Connor. I'm a senior studying to be a city planner and president of Sustain UNL. I came to college a bit lost, but this institution helped me realize my passion for developing sustainable communities. It was this passion that took me to India for a semester, learning about sustainable development and social change at a global level. It led me to Ravenna, Nebraska for a summer fellowship, where I confronted the issues facing rural Nebraskans and our aging population, and it led me to the heart of Lincoln, where I collaborated with government officials, community leaders, and industry professionals to develop the Lincoln Climate Action Plan. These experiences have taught me that no matter the scale, no matter the community, there are two crucial components for creating positive, sustainable change. You need to look towards the future, and you need to listen to your community. Ask yourselves, are you looking towards the future when you continue to fund a dying industry with a long history of ignoring its own trail of destruction? Are you looking towards the future as you balance the name of this institution on the tip of an oil drill? Listen to your community. We are not asking for half measures. We are demanding that you take decisive action in support of a climate-safe future. Thank you.
Thank you. Amelia, are you here?
Hello, everyone. My name is Amelia Long, and I'm a fourth-year environmental studies major. I'm originally from Austin, Texas, and I transferred here 2 years ago because of family circumstances. At the time, I'll admit it felt like the end of the world. Nebraska, to me, was so-called flyover country. I associated it with agriculture and conservative values that didn't align with my own. But after 2 years at the university, I found community, opportunity, and a newfound connection to the state as a whole. The classes I've taken and organizations I've been a part of have helped introduce me to issues of soil and water quality, climate change, and environmental equity. And yet my experience stands in contrast with the university's history of fossil fuel investments. Full divestment would be a signal to out-of-state students like myself that the university is ready to engage with the existential threat of our lifetimes, climate change. I don't regret ending up at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. This university has a lot to offer, but only if it stops playing into a reputation of being stuck in the past and not listening to students. Because I've found a home here, I'm demanding full divestment now. Thank you.
Thank you. Ella Ganick.
Hello, my name is Isla Ganich, and I'm a junior at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. As a first-generation Husker from a Bosnian-American family, my parents came to this country with the hope of a better life. For the past 3 semesters, I have been a journalist for Climate Change Nebraska. During this depth reporting project, we have extensively studied the impacts of climate change on Nebraska. Nebraska has countless young people suffering from eco-anxiety. Nebraska has communities of color breathing in polluted air from toxic industries. Nebraska has farmers worried about whether next year's crop yield will be enough to support their families. However, the university has a crucial role in contributing to this crisis. We would be wrong to think our endowment isn't contributing to the crisis. It is. Our endowment is a powerful advocacy tool. The continued support of the fossil fuel industry doesn't live up to the opportunity my parents imagined when they came here. I am deeply disappointed that the university is failing this wish by investing in fossil fuels rather than my future. I'm calling for the Board of Regents to divest from Fund N from fossil fuels, and in doing so, influence the NU Foundation to do the same with Fund A. Thank you.
Thank you. Rowan Thacker.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rohan Tucker, and I am a senior at UNL. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. For the past 4 years, I have participated in sustainability initiatives at all levels of student government. As a freshman on the Environmental Leadership Program, I participated in multiple events trying to inform students about the climate crisis. As a sophomore and a junior on the Green Fund, I funded multiple different steps in projects to help student initiatives towards different types of policies all throughout campus. And finally, as the Environmental Sustainability Chair and an ASUN Senator, I have added extremely important initiatives such as adding e-waste recycling, adding reusable containers to dining halls, and planning the yearly Earthstock event. For me, sustainability is personal. I see all of my peers, many of them here, spending as much time as me, fighting for the cause we believe in. All of our initiatives are great, but none of them are really systemic. Students put thousands of hours of work into sustainability initiatives across all 4 campuses, but it hurts to see a largely unresponsive administration. The ESG policy is a step, but we are calling for divestment of fossil fuels because the university needs to show it cares about the student body and wants to fight for the most pressing issue of our generation. Thank you.
Thank you. Madison Whitney.
Hello, my name is Madison Whitney, and I'm a junior environmental studies and global studies double major at UNL. As a freshman, I had trouble finding myself represented and supported on campus as both a queer student and an environmentalist. After only a month on campus, I applied to transfer to a university that not only addressed climate change, but also actively worked with their students to find sustainable and fair solutions. I ended up staying at UNL so I could make a change on campus, but I would be lying if I said that at times I didn't regret my decision to stay at UNL. Divestment is a way to keep passionate and dedicated students at our university. Show that you care about your students. Show that you're listening to your students. We are sick and tired of bringing up this issue. I'm sure many of us would rather be doing something else than testifying today, but we have no other option. I'm here today to support the ESG as a step towards divestment, but the time and hesitation that the university is taking is embarrassing. If you want to ensure that UNL continues to bring in talented and driven students, invest in our well-being and our futures by divesting from fossil fuels. Thank you.
Thank you. Brittany McGuire.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brittany McGuire. I'm a born and raised Nebraskan and a first-generation college student on the cusp of graduation. After 15 months of dialogue on divestment, it is really exciting to see some tangible progress. I hope you will all vote to pass the ESG policy today as one step towards divestment. I want to share some of my concerns, mostly in the response to President Ted Carter's recent editorial. I believe endowments are a powerful advocacy tool, and use endowment is a powerful advocacy tool. Failure to recognize this is intentional and a strategic way to brush off the duty we as an institution have to responsibly invest our money. We've all heard the phrase, vote with your wallet. This holds true whether it's the $3 in your pocket that you use to buy a chai latte or the millions of dollars in NU's endowment. Secondly, NU has the stance that fully divesting from fossil fuel companies attempting to lower their carbon footprint wouldn't make sense because they show promise of transforming into renewable leaders. I just want to say that a sustainability plan does not magically erase the decades of intentional harm that all fossil fuel companies have been inflicting on low-income and BIPOC communities. A fossil fuel company with a sustainability plan is the definition of greenwashing, and I really don't think that's going to change no matter how many ESG experts that we hire to kind of analyze that situation. Finally, many universities like Rutgers have taken 10 years to announce divestment. I think we would be mistaken if we interpreted that as an excuse for us to also take that long. Rutgers, a fellow public land-grant institution, really paved the way for us. So it should be easier now and more swift for us to announce divestment. So I say let's announce divestment and let's be proud of it. Like my peers have said, this is almost a recruitment tool. You know, students our age, our generation, want to see universities taking action on climate, and divestment is just one of those really big steps towards that. So thank you all for your time today.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would wish to address the board on a topic that's part of today's agenda? If so, please come forward, identify yourself, and complete the sign-in sheet before you leave. You will have 3 minutes to address the board. I declare that opportunity closed. Board, how you doing? You need a 5-minute break or plug ahead? Break, 5 minutes. Thank you. If you're ready to grab your seats, we'll start again. President Carter, the floor is yours.
Mr. Chairman, if I could take a moment of personal privilege to make a few comments on the topic that our students have come to discuss with us today. I know it's unusual to make comments after the public comments section, but this is such a passionate topic, and with so many speakers, and as has been already identified, the length of time that this discussion has been going on, I thought I would make a few comments. You have an item related to our endowment investments later in your agenda, but I would love the opportunity to just say a few words while our students are still with us. As you know, we've heard passionate testimony from our students on this issue of fossil fuel divestment, not just today, but over the past 15 months, and quite honestly, since my entire time here as president of the university. I want to say to those students, we have been, and we continue, and we will be listening. I still remember one of my first visits to campus as a candidate for this job. It was a meeting with student leaders at Hawks Hall at UNL. I remember how impressed I was by their sustainability questions and their clear passion for the issue. I told them then that if I was selected as president, I would work with them to turn their ideas into action. I think the proposal you have before you today is a very good first step in that direction. As you know, students have asked us to divest our endowment holdings from fossil fuel companies, particularly the Carbon Underground 200 companies that have the most significant carbon footprint. With help from the foundation, we have carefully analyzed our portfolio. I would note that we have no direct investments in fossil fuel companies. Of our total fund and portfolio, in other words, the portion of the endowment controlled by this board, the Board of Regents, our total energy exposure is less than 2%. That is a significant decrease from 6.5%, which is what it was when I came into this job only a year ago. To be more clear, our exposure to Carbon Underground 200 companies within those energy holdings, those that our students have asked us to focus on, is only today about 1%. Those are 1% of commingled assets with mutual funds, no direct investments. Even with the decline, we are bringing you additional action. The proposal that will come before you would amend our investment policies to allow you to incorporate environmental, social, and governance criteria into your decisions on how to invest fund in. These ESG criteria are increasingly used by institutions across the country as attention to sustainability grows, and more, they are a standard used in the business world as well. For example, agencies like Moody's, which assesses our university, uses ESG as one factor in determining an institution's risk and credit rating. Let me say a word about what this proposal does not do, because that's as important as what it does. This change would not box our Board of Regents into terms of our investment authority. It does not create restrictions or force new action on your part as you make your investment decisions. What it does do is create flexibility for you to consider factors other than making money. This is a significant shift and the first time we will have changed our investment strategy. I think we can all agree that there is value and flexibility and that responsibility investing is a best practice that aligns with the priorities of our students, faculty, and staff. That flexibility is important, I think, because it reflects the complexity of these discussions. For example, there may be companies on the Carbon Underground 200 list today that are engaged in clean energy research that would put them on the cutting edge of sustainability in the future. Would it make sense to divest from those companies now in light of their future potential? I would argue the answer might be no. The policy change we are bringing you today gives you the space to make that judgment. The proposal also does put us in a position to achieve our vision that by 2025, we're talking 4 years from now, Fund N will have no investments in companies that do not have a sustainability plan in place. With your approval, we would engage with ESG experts who can help us make certain that we invest only in companies that are doing real, meaningful work in clean energy. In other words, no greenwashing allowed. I acknowledge some will not be completely satisfied that we have not done enough in promising immediate full divestment. I do think Nebraskans can appreciate that this is a complex discussion with many perspectives that must be considered. Our endowment does not exist to advance any particular viewpoint, but is rather a resource that exists for the good of all Nebraskans, starting with our students. I think we can feel very good about where we are after many months of careful discussion, analysis, and input. This is a common sense approach reflecting Nebraskan values. The other point I would like to make to our students is we're not done. We fully intend that we'll be having an ongoing dialogue with students about our sustainability. I would also be remiss not to mention the good work being done in areas beyond our investment strategies. The work our faculty are doing in water, agriculture, and sustainability use of our natural resources is second to none. I know this board takes great pride in that work. Our leadership in agriculture makes us a leader in sustainability, and our commitment has only grown stronger through our 152-year history. Finally, I want to especially thank our student regents, who have been true leaders and partners in this effort. Regent Ronnie Miller sat on the Business and Finance Committee last year, has been as thoughtful a champion and collaborator as I have ever experienced in a student leader. I'm so pleased that we can take this important step before we say goodbye to our current student regents. Finally, I'd just like to add we will continue to be transparent in our processes and within our investments, and all of the promises that I made in the last Board of Regents meeting still hold firm. Regent Kenny, back to you.
Thank you, President Carter. I echo your thanks to the student regents and the Business Finance Committee of the university staff for all your efforts for a thoughtful and impactful proposal to the board, which we will consider a little later in the agenda. We will move forward to the consent agenda. The business portion of the agenda, we do not have items for the consent agenda today, so we'll now ask President Carter to walk us through the administrative agenda. President Carter.
Thank you. On the first order of business, we will be talking about academic affairs. Item 11A1 seeks your approval of amendments to the Board of Regents bylaws related to assignment of duties and to the rights and responsibilities of professional staff. I know we said a few words about the proposed changes at our last meeting, but now that they are actually before you for a vote, I want to take a few more minutes to remind you how we got to this point, and especially to say thank you to the Faculty Senate, for their leadership throughout this process. I feel very good about where we've ended up. And that is a great credit to our faculty, particularly the Faculty Senate presidents who we honored earlier today, who are with us today. They have been terrific collaborators and liaisons with their constituents, and I can't say enough good things about the thought and care that our faculty have put into this process. I know it's taken a great deal of time to get us here. This process has begun even before I started this job. And I will be the first to say that at points the process may have appeared a little messy, but I think that's a good thing. We're talking about policy changes that impact thousands of faculty members across our university system. Of course, there will be diverse perspectives around the table, and we want to take the time necessary to work through the issues, find common ground, and get this right for our faculty. So what you have before you today is a result of many months of careful work by the faculty, the chancellors, and myself. The proposed changes accomplish several goals. Number one, the amendments provide clarity and predictability to our faculty regarding the administrative leave process. Number two, they protect academic freedom, one of the highest goals of a university, and this puts the onus on us, the administration, to protect academic freedom, not our faculty. Number 3, the proposal honors shared governance. This is a sacred principle at our university, and I think we have been thoughtful about seeking and including faculty input. With your approval of these changes, I think I can speak for the chancellors when I say that the message we hope to send is that at the University of Nebraska, we care about our faculty. Faculty are the heart and soul of any great university. That is certainly true here at the University of Nebraska. I am very proud of what we've been able to bring to you after a very diligent and inclusive effort, and I enthusiastically recommend this item for your approval.
Is there a motion to approve 11A1?
So moved.
Second? Second. Barb, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Moore. Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare. Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Item 11A2 seeks your approval to amend sections 4.4.1 and 4.4.5 of the bylaws of the Board of Regents. These proposed amendments are associated with extension faculty. The University of Nebraska Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources has 650 faculty members. Half of these are tenure track faculty and the other half are non-tenure track. Of the latter group, 182 are extension educators. Those engagement professionals who are experts in taking the discoveries made at the university to the people of Nebraska and beyond. They work with local leaders across all 531 of Nebraska's communities and provide scalable solutions for those around the world. Extension educators are required to have a master's degree, and many have PhDs. While many know Nebraska Extension for its youth and 4-H programming, Extension educators also support farmers, ranchers, community leaders, and entrepreneurs. They coordinate food assistance programs, help train child care providers, and ensure we eat healthy. Extension educators assist with farm and ranch succession planning and save lives by teaching producers to safely apply pesticides, operate farm equipment, and guide our neighbors in need to healthcare providers. They are there during historic floods, when dams break, irrigation tunnels collapse, drought hits, and global pandemics disrupt daily routines. They are the front door to the People's University. The proposed amendments explicitly recognize assistant extension educators, associate extension educators, and extension educators as members of the university's professional staff. The amendments also extend the required notice of termination by rank and clarify the coordinative relationship between the University of Nebraska and county governments relating to extension. The proposed amendments to sections 4.4.1 and 4.4.5 of the Board of Regents bylaws were consented by the Council of Academic Officers, recommended for approval by the Academic Affairs Committee, and published as an information item in the February 12, 2021 Board meeting materials. I recommend these amendments for your approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve 11-A-2?
So moved. Long overdue.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mike or Ronnie, do you have any comments?
There appears to be none.
Appears to be none. Board? Regent Pillen.
I think I'd just like to follow up on what Homer Beal said earlier this morning at the recognition of the Ag Builders Recipient Award, that we as lifetime Nebraskans in agriculture and across the state will tend to take things that we've had forever for granted. And I think this is, as Bob just said, long overdue. And the work that our extension educators do across the state to help all communities thrive and all producers thrive is unparalleled, and Nebraska is an extraordinary state of need as they work across our 5 agroecological zones to capture the greatest value of each complicated area of land and water that we have in Nebraska. So I give good kudos to all of our extension agents, their ability to keep evolving and adapting and innovating and helping all Nebraskans. So a big kudos to them, and I support this.
Thank you, Regent. Any other comments? Have at her.
It's important for the board to know, and I know you know this, and the state of Nebraska knows this, but Nebraska Extension is considered the leader nationally in outreach and extension, and I just wanted to underline that before you as well.
Thank you. Anyone else? Keisha?
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Abstain.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11A3 seeks your approval to eliminate the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science in Medieval and Renaissance Studies in the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Student interest in these degrees have been declining. At present, there are 2 students in the program, both of whom will be allowed to finish out their programs. They're expected to graduate by May of 2022. These are interdisciplinary degrees with no standalone coursework. UNL will continue to offer a minor in medieval and Renaissance studies that uses cross-listed coursework from related disciplines. Consequently, there are no savings anticipated with the elimination of these degrees. These degree eliminations have been reviewed by the Council of Academic Officers and the Academic Affairs Committee. I recommend them for the board's approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve 11-A-3?
So moved.
I'll take the one to the left. Is Tim, second?
Second.
Any comments? Tasha?
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11A4 seeks your approval to create an 18-credit-hour animal science management undergraduate certificate in the Department of Animal Science in the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. The proposed online and in-person undergraduate certificate is designed to provide foundational coursework in animal science. Students will gain experience and knowledge applicable to careers in agriculture banking, finance, insurance, food science, agriculture mechanization and technology, federal and state regulations, and veterinary technology and medicine. As UNL is Nebraska's only university to offer an animal science program, the certificate will be targeted to students matriculating at 2- and 4-year institutions across Nebraska working towards a degree in a major besides animal science. The online option will also be attractive to students in other states and internationally. This proposal has been reviewed by the Council of Academic Officers and the Academic Affairs Committee. I recommend it for the board's approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Tim? Second?
Second.
Ronnie? Any discussion? Seeing none, Stacia?
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11A5 seeks your approval to create the Bachelor of Science in Plant and Landscape Systems in the Department of Agronomy and Horticulture in the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. The UNL Department of Agronomy and Horticulture, informed by an external program review and feedback from employers and students, is proposing a new 120 credit hour Bachelor of Science in Plant and Landscape Systems degree that will combine 3 undergraduate majors: agronomy, horticulture, and turf grass and landscape management. The proposed major is designed to create core experiences in the areas of agronomy and horticulture for all students, attract new students while retaining the traditional audience, and provide students curricular flexibility to match their career goals. Upon approval of the new major, the existing agronomy, horticulture, and turf grass and landscape management majors will be proposed for teach-out and elimination. This proposal has been reviewed by the Council of Academic Officers and the Academic Affairs Committee. I recommend it for the board's approval.
Thank you, President. Is there a motion to approve 11-A-5?
Motion.
Thomas, second?
Second.
Any comments? Keisha?
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Yes.
Regent Clare,
Yes.
Regent Kenny,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Yes.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer,
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11A6 seeks your approval to create the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Law and Business in the College of Business at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. The proposed undergraduate 120 credit hour law and business major will provide students with the legal knowledge and critical thinking skills necessary to become future business leaders. By understanding how the law works and how lawyers think, business executives can work more effectively with their legal counsel to develop business strategies, maximize emerging business opportunities, and minimize potential legal risks. Combining business knowledge with an in-depth understanding of law, the judicial system, the legislative process, and the regulatory environment provides a unique educational opportunity and will make graduates with the law and business major marketable and attractive to a wide range of employers. The law and business major is not intended to replace the university's pre-law program. Instead, it is designed for students who are not interested in becoming a lawyer but want to understand enough about the law to be successful in business. This proposal has been reviewed by the Council of Academic Officers and the Academic Affairs Committee. I recommend it for the board's approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion to approve 11-A-6?
I move. I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments?
I think this is a great program. So many times my clients would come into me and they if they knew how to not necessarily think like a lawyer, because I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but understanding how the law works, it really can be a benefit to their business. Many times clients would come in and they've already taken steps down the path that we have to then undo and then go back and start over. This will I think be very beneficial to them. When I taught business law at the business college for a few years, and I tried to encourage students that I'm not expecting you to know the law, but I'm expecting you to be able to teach you how to work with your lawyer more effectively, and I think this program does exactly that.
Anyone else? Ronnie?
If I may add, Chair Kenny, while I do not have the pleasure of serving on the Academic Affairs Committee for the Board of Regents, I do have the honor of serving on the Academic Planning Committee under Faculty Senate at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, where these 4 proposals originated. And I just want to commend Chair Geisinger and all of those that serve on the Academic Planning Committee, especially President Buon, who's here with us today, who have done a lot of diligent work to prepare these proposals and ensure that our academic standards at the university meet the needs of students. And so I'm very excited to see and approve these proposals here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? My comment would be is it sounds like a big undertaking is going to help us understand how lawyers think. Come on now.
Scary.
Beisha.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Clare.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11A7 seeks your approval to create a Master of Science in Biostatistics to be administered by Graduate Studies in the Department of Biostatistics in the College of Public Health at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. The proposed 36 credit hour online and in-person Master of Science degree program in biostatistics will focus on providing students with essential skills in statistical methods and data science techniques for biomedical research and clinical studies. The curriculum includes biostatistics theory, statistical modeling of clinical data, clinical trials methodology, biostatistical computing, and methods of machine learning. The proposed degree will provide a strong educational foundation to individuals who want to pursue a career as a statistician or data analyst in a healthcare research institution or pharmaceutical industry, or who plan to continue their education in a doctoral program of biostatistics. The proposal has been reviewed by the Council of Academic Officers and approved by the Executive Graduate Council. This proposal also has been reviewed by the Academic Affairs Committee. I recommend it for the board's approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Bob makes, how about a second?
Second.
Jim, thank you. Is there any comments? Chancellor Gold? Beisha?
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11A8 seeks your approval to establish the Center for Biomedical Informatics Research and Innovation to be jointly administered by the University of Nebraska Medical Center and the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Biomedical informatics has become a critical part of biomedical research due to the nature of data collection, storage, curation, analysis, and inference involved. With parallel developments in computer science and high throughput technologies in life sciences, biomedical data is being generated at a much faster pace than it can be analyzed. Sophisticated mathematical, statistical, computational, and inferential tools are often required to extract the meaning hiding within this deluge of big data. Ever-evolving technologies, techniques, and tools make it a challenge to stay current. Hence, it is difficult for an individual investigator or even one campus to maintain cutting-edge infrastructure and technical expertise in BMI. The existing BMI resources are freestanding with discrete missions and goals and spread across UNMC and UNO. The Center for Biomedical Informatics Research and Innovation will be better aligned with this existing infrastructure to efficiently meet BMI needs, so that these critical resources and expertise are easily accessible to all members of the biomedical research community in Nebraska and beyond. This proposal has been reviewed by the Council of Academic Officers and the Academic Affairs Committee. I recommend it for the board's approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve 11-A-8?
So moved.
We'll go, Jack, how about a second?
Second.
Any comments on this one? Thomas?
I just want to say I think this is a really great project moving forward. I also want to say in terms of the public comments that we had from one of our speakers today about the Regents scholarship transfer from UNL and UNO, this provides a very nice partnership where we're seeing campuses. As we continue to grow these projects and these partnerships, I think it is also very think about how we navigate those aspects, especially making sure that education is affordable. and that funding is transferred as well. But I think this is really an excellent project.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah, thank you. Just to reiterate that this is a critical, important partnership between UNO and UNMC. It has been quite active for a long time, and now to have it a formally Board of Regents designated Center of Excellence is important. For members of the audience who may not understand what bioinformatics is, this is the group that determined the protein structure of the spike protein of the coronavirus that has gone into the commercial production of monoclonal antibodies, vaccines, etc., right here in our own city and in the university campus. So this is a critically important enterprise. Historically, they have collectively been funded over $175 million of extramural research funding over the last 5 years. So this is not a small enterprise and will continue to create distinction for the University of Nebraska.
Thank you. Anyone else? Stacia?
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11A9 seeks your approval to establish the Samuel Bach Academic Learning Center to be administered by the Office of Academic Affairs at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. The proposed Samuel Bach Academic Learning Center will serve to expand UNO's multidisciplinary scholarship, academic curricula, community engagement, and educational activities dedicated to human rights, genocide studies, the Holocaust, and artistic work. The proposed center will build upon existing programs such as the Sam and Francis Freed Holocaust and Genocide Academy, the Leonard and Shirley Goldstein Center for Human Rights, the Nathan and Hannah Schwalb Center for Israel and Jewish Studies, and the future Ted Kuzer Center for Health Humanities. The Samuel Bach Museum, housed within the Academic Learning Center, will be home to over 500 of Samuel Bach's works of art. The official establishment of the center is critical to accepting the initial artwork gift, which is valued at over $18 million and will provide an appropriate organizational entity for fundraising. To facilitate campus-wide academic collaborations and community partnerships, the center needs its own organizational structure and identity. While existing collaborating centers and their directors, as well as faculty in the academic departments and schools, will retain their current affiliations, the Samuel Bach Academic Learning Center will function as an umbrella structure that coordinates, aligns, and supports their collective efforts. Additionally, the Samuel Bach Academic Learning Center will allow for the physical co-location of the primary center partners and likely innovative in-residence opportunities for faculty scholars throughout the world. This proposal has been reviewed by the Council of Academic Officers and the Academic Affairs Committee. I recommend it for the board's approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion for 11A9?
8.
So move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'll just make a comment that the UNO community is super excited about this, and the Academic Affairs Committee was able to see the presentation of the Samuel Bach, some of his work. Super thought-provoking and just really excellent work, and it'll definitely provide value to the UNO community, but also to the Omaha community, and just learning about genocide and human rights and social justice. And so I'm just super excited about this just for, Omaha. So.
Thanks, David. Any other comments? Stacia?
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Ferris. Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11A10 seeks your approval to create the Bachelor of Science degree in Pharmaceutical Sciences in the Department of Chemistry in the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. The proposed 120 credit hour Bachelor of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences is designed for students interested in Doctor of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences graduate programs or for entry-level careers such as sales representatives and pharmaceutical research technicians. The program was created to provide a pipeline of well-qualified candidates for admission to the University of Nebraska Medical Center's College of Pharmacy and other pharmacy schools, and to contribute towards building the healthcare provider and biomedical scientist workforce, a growing employment segment given the increased demand to develop new treatments and medicines. Instructional responsibilities will be shared between UNO and UNMC. UNMC will be reimbursed for coursework taught by their faculty, and the College of Pharmacy faculty teaching this program will have adjunct appointments and provide instruction under the auspices of UNO. This proposal has been reviewed by the Council of Academic Officers and the Academic Affairs Committee. I recommend it for the board's approval.
Thank you, Ted. Is there a motion to approve 11-A-10?
So moved.
Barb, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Chancellor Gold.
Chancellor.
Thank you, sir. Just again to comment that this is a combined University of Nebraska at Omaha, University of Nebraska Medical Center program housed in the UNO Department of Chemistry. Bachelors of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences are an incredibly popular undergraduate degree program, not only for individuals that seek careers in the pharmaceutical industry, particularly big pharma, commercial pharmaceutical corporations, retail pharmacy, etc., but much more broadly for multiple different healthcare professional tracks, including medicine, dentistry, and so many other medical and health professional tracks. This has been an incredible amount of work that's done between the two campuses to create what I believe to be a very innovative program and one that will be sustained for a long time to come. I'm very proud of the work that's been done by the respective deans of the Colleges of Arts and Sciences and the Colleges of Pharmacy.
Thank you, Chancellor. Any other comments?
And I also think it's just another example of our campuses collaborating, so breaking down the silos between the campuses and each capitalizing on strengths of each campus. So I think it's a fantastic program.
Anyone else? Stacia?
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites. Yes. Regent Clare.
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
Regent Ferris. The motion passes.
Now on to business affairs. Item 11B1 seeks your approval to amend Board of Regents Policy 6.6.4, which would allow for the consideration of environmental, social, and governance factors, commonly known as ESG, when making investment decisions for the university's endowment. I previously offered fairly lengthy comments on this item earlier, so I'll just say that it has been reviewed by the Business and Finance Committee, and I heartily recommend it for your approval.
Thank you, President. Any comments?
Take a motion.
Oh, excuse me. Need a motion to approve.
So
11B1.
So moved.
Ronnie, second?
Second.
Any discussion on 11B1? Ronnie?
This is an effort that has been really student-driven, and I want to show appreciation, especially for all the students on UNL's campus and across the NU system that have been advocating for attention to this issue. I'm greatly appreciative of the work that the Business and Finance Committee has done, especially with the leadership of Chris Gaborik and the guidance from Heath Mello and Melissa that I've also received in this role advocating for this policy. I'm so excited to see it here before the board today, and I look forward to this being the first step, and hopefully many, to address climate change, to address the demands of our students. And I see this as a wonderful opportunity for collaboration between student advocacy and this board. So I encourage you all to share your excitement alongside me in voting yes for this policy. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thomas?
I would also just like to echo Ronnie's words, or Regent Miller's words, and say that this is an excellent initiative going forward, and I really have appreciated all the collaboration we've had with the administration, Chris Kuborik, as we've navigated this issue and tried to find common ground, both between the university and students. The Healthy Earth Alliance, the student organization that focuses on educational advocacy at UNMC, has happily endorsed this as well, and they're very inspired by this going forward. And I think this is also a great first step as we continue to work towards investment. So I happily say I look forward to passing.
Thank you. Anyone else? Stacia?
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer,
Yes.
Regent Stark,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Excited, yes.
Regent Clare,
Yes.
Regent Kenny,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Yes.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 11B2 seeks your approval to approve a bond resolution allowing the issuance of up to $400 million for campus deferred maintenance projects. As university president, I'm often asked, what are the issues that keep me up at night? Many nights, it's the state of our physical plant. We are not unique in this regard. Most colleges and universities around the country are dealing with rapidly aging infrastructure. The bad news is that this has been a problem for us for far too long. The good news is that here in Nebraska, we have a plan to do something about it. Legislative Bill 588, the result of many months of collaborative work between the university, our Board of Regents, state leaders, is a smart, responsible, action-oriented plan to take care of some of the state's most valuable building assets. I want to personally thank Appropriations Committee Chairman Senator John Stinner for his unwavering leadership on this issue and for introducing Legislative Bill 588. I also want to thank each of the Appropriation Committee members for unanimously including LB 588 as part of the legislator's capital construction budget proposal. While we still have several steps to get the budget package approved by the legislature and signed by the governor, I think the business case we have developed speaks for itself. The funding for LB 588, if approved, will allow the Board of Regents to issue up to $400 million in bonds to begin our repair work. These funds will provide critical repair and renewal needs across all of our campuses and NCTA, ensuring that our students and faculty have world-class facilities in which to teach and learn. Our plan provides rigorous accountability guardrails for our stewardship of Nebraska resources. And by taking advantage of the historically low interest rates, our plan to repair and renew our buildings over the next 40 years represent major savings to the taxpayers. We're speaking to the tune of $1.5 billion to Nebraskan taxpayers with this program. In short, this plan changes the trajectory on how we address deferred maintenance at the University of Nebraska. I believe it's a win for everyone all the way around, for our university, for the state, Nebraska taxpayers, our faculty, and our students. Not just for the 52,000 who are enrolled today, but for students for generations to come. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the proposal, and I recommend it to you for your approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion to approve 11B2?
So moved.
Jack?
Second.
Second. Bob? Any discussions? Max?
I'd just say that this is really exciting to me for two reasons. One, because of the deferred maintenance I've seen on my campus with Greek housing. And then another one that I think deserves bringing up is the record low interest rates. As a student studying finance right now, it makes me really excited to see us capitalizing on these historically low interest rates. And I think there should be a great thanks given to President Carter, as well as Vice Presidents Kuborik and Mello, and our government leaders for being diligent. I think this is This is great for taxpayers and great for students.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I'm going to add one more comment that was not in my remarks and what makes this plan stand alone from almost any other university in the country. This plan also requires a university to invest a 2% depreciation on planned programs so that by the plan's end in 2062, the state of Nebraska will no longer invest money in our building and maintenance sustainability, making us independent and relieving the state of that funding. Very few, if any, state universities in the country have a plan that is dedicated to do the same thing. So it really, really is a legacy building program that the board, you have the choice along with our legislature to move forward.
Comment I'd make quick before we vote is that our most recently retired regent got in contact with us and wanted to make sure that we were still working on this. We had money down for this purpose. Anyone else? Keisha.
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare. Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 11B3 seeks your approval to execute a standard form guaranteed maximum price contract amendment to the construction manager at risk contract for the North Stadium expansion project at UNL. As we discussed in December, the global pandemic required us to make some adjustments to the timing of this project, but the ultimate goal has never changed: deliver a world-class facility for our student athletes that will help Nebraska compete. And with your approval of the contract before you, we will take a significant step towards making good on that deliverable. I'm pleased to announce that we have exceeded the $80 million of private fundraising goal to begin phase 1 of this project. This will allow us to begin work on this project yet this month. I'm so proud of the work of Chancellor Ronnie Green, Husker Athletics, and everyone else who helped get this over the goal line. Raising $80 million by itself is a significant hurdle to clear, but to raise it during a global pandemic is nothing short of remarkable. Most importantly, I couldn't be more thankful for our donors and Nebraskans' fantastic support of Husker Athletics and the Go Big project. As I said in December, honoring the trust they have placed in us is my number one objective. We are not going to spend money we don't have. We're going to use the resources that we do have wisely. When we say we're going to complete this project with $100 million in philanthropic donations, that is precisely what we're going to do. Donors have been generous, and I feel very good about getting to the $100 million goal. I'd be remiss if I didn't offer Chancellor Ronnie Green to make a comment.
Well, it just echo what President Carter said. It's remarkable that we've been able to meet that $80 million goal, as you'll recall, in our conversations about this project to enable phase 1 to move forward. The shovels are ready with the anticipation of the groundbreaking to be the day before the spring game. So looking forward to that.
I'll just tell you how pleased I am with the project's momentum. As many of you know, I've lived all over the world. I've had an opportunity to see and do a lot of things. I've never seen anything like Nebraskans' can-do attitude in this regard. It's really, really impressive. There truly is no place like Nebraska. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the proposal, and I recommend it to you for your approval.
Thank you, President. Is there a motion for 11B3?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments on this one before we? Jim?
Yes, I'm very pleased to see this moving forward. It's something that I believe is very, very necessary, and I think it's going to be a tremendous project for the university and for the not only the football program but also just the athletic program in general. I do have a relationship. Our office has a relationship with houseman, and so I will be abstaining from this out of an abundance of caution, and I just want to make sure that my colleagues know that that's no reflection on my support of this this project.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Yes.
Regent Clare, Regent Kenny,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Yes.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer,
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11B4 seeks your approval to execute a standard form construction agreement on the first phase of the outdoor track replacement project. As we have previously discussed, the Go Big project will sit on the space that the UNL track currently occupies outside of Memorial Stadium. Therefore, we must first replace that space before significant construction on the Go Big project can begin. Now, there have been some modifications to the track plan since we last spoke. I invite Chancellor Green to just highlight those modifications.
When this project was approved in its statement that there was a plan for the track and field to be replaced as the current facility exists on campus here on Innovation Campus north of the Devaney Center, but to also build out full-scale venue facilities to be able to host competition here as well. The contract you have in front of you, it does phase one of that build out to replace the track and field itself, but not the additional venue in light of continuing to do diligence around that as we move forward. I'd also point out to you as you leave today, you might take a look to our west here. You'll recall in some of the earlier conversation about this, the need for parking related to the Devaney Center. Regent Hawks, I know, had a number of questions about that. That parking has now been completed, and the relocation is just to the west of where you sit here today.
Thank you, Chancellor Green. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the proposal, and I recommend it to you for your approval.
Thank you, President. Is there a motion to approve 11B4?
So moved.
Regent White, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any further discussion on the track project? Seeing none. Keisha?
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Clare, Regent Kenny,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Yes.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer,
Yes.
Regent Stark,
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 11B5 seeks your approval to increase the Kiewit Hall project's budget at UNL. This budget increase, entirely funded from private donations, will allow additional site work to the area, connect the project to Othmer Hall, and invest in important sustainability enhancements. Earlier, we discussed the importance of sustainability factors around our investment decisions. And while important, investments are not an isolated part of our overall vision. We should celebrate sustainability plans in place on each of our campuses. The chancellors have done remarkable work in setting goals for improved stewardship of our resources, including plans to become carbon neutral in the years ahead. And consider the impact on Nebraska's total carbon footprint if the University of Nebraska system, owner of 70% of the state's buildings, achieved lower carbon emissions. That's why I support the additional investments in Kiewit Hall to allow the building to obtain LEED Gold and WELL, W-E-L-L, Silver certifications. To the best of our current knowledge, this would be the first LEED Gold and WELL Silver certified College of Engineering building in the country, which should be a clear statement to our peers and future students and faculty about how the university and the state of Nebraska value sustainability, engineering, and construction education. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the proposal increase in the budget, and I recommend it to you for your approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion to approve 11B5?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion's been made in second. Any discussion on this motion? Station?
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Kenny,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Yes.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer,
Yes.
Regent Stark,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Yes.
Regent Clare.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 11B6 seeks your approval of 3 interlocal agreement templates that will serve as operational agreements between the university and each of Nebraska's 93 counties to provide extension services. As you know, with our extension offices, UNL and county extension employees work side by side to serve the public. The interlocal agreements that establish the relationships between Nebraska counties and Nebraska Extension were developed about 25 years ago, and over time, some of the language has become outdated. Several counties have asked us to bring the language up to date. Our extension team has worked proactively to develop a new template for the interlocal agreements. With your approval, Extension will work with each Nebraska county to update their agreement. My understanding from Vice Chancellor Mike Boehm is this process will take about 3 years. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the proposed templates, and I recommend them to you for your approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion to approve 11B6?
So moved.
Jack. Need a second? Tim, thank you. Any discussion?
Deputy County Attorney, I'm going to abstain, but that in no way reflects my opinion on this approval. And I know that this has been requested by the counties, and it's a necessary step.
Thank you. Mike, any comments?
Just like to say thank you for your support of Nebraska Extension and for this cooperative partnership, which is really unique. And as Chancellor Green said, there really is, again, no place like Nebraska when it comes to our extension partnership with the people and the producers of this great state. And this is a necessary step. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Abstain.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer,
Yes.
Regent Stark,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Yes.
Regent Clare,
Yes.
Regent Kenny.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11B7 seeks your approval to acquire several parcels of land on Farnham Street in Omaha for UNMC. In support of UNMC's master plan, the university continues to work with nearby property owners in acquiring parcels of land that are critical to UNMC expansion. The parcels of land are adjacent to the UNMC campus and are critical to maximizing future development opportunities and flexibility. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the proposed acquisitions, and I recommend them to you for your approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve 11B7?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Rob? Any discussion? Seeing none?
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer,
Yes.
Regent Stark,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Yes.
Regent Clare, Regent Kenny,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11B8 seeks your approval of up to $5 million from the university's internal loan program to fund several utility and IT infrastructure upgrades on the UNMC campus. Details of the proposal are included in your agenda item. Per our policy, any loans greater than $5 million require Board of Regents approval. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the proposal, and I recommend it to you for your approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion to approve 11B8?
I move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Alicia?
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Pillen,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer,
Yes.
Regent Stark,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Yes.
Regent Clare, Regent Kenny,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Yes.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Item 11B9 seeks your approval of the amended and restated institutional affiliation between the university and Children's Hospital. The current affiliation agreement between UNMC's College of Medicine and Children's Hospital and Medical Center originally entered into in 2007, and the bylaws of Children's Specialty Practice, of which the university and the Children's are each members, require updating to reflect current operations. I'd like to offer Chancellor Gold an opportunity to make any comments about where we are with this today.
Well, thank you. This opportunity for the Board of Regents today represents 4 years of work between the senior leadership of Children's Hospital and Medical Center and the University of Nebraska Medical Center leadership, their general counsels. Particular kudos to Mr. Podorf personally and his team for their work. But this reestablishes, strengthens, and builds a future for a critically important academic, research, and clinical relationship between Children's and the Med Center. CSP, or Children's Specialty Physicians, is the practice group that contains the overwhelming majority of the practicing physicians that care for children at CHMC. It provides the venue for all of our health profession students who study pediatrics as part of their required or their future careers, and obviously serves critically important clinical roles for our state and for many surrounding states due to the expertise of the clinical programs, which of course are overwhelmingly UNMC faculty. I'm very proud of the work that's been done by the leadership of Children's. I particularly like to call out their Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Chanja Chacon, who is personally and instrumentally involved in moving this forward. I thank you for the opportunity to comment, President Carter.
Thank you, Dr. Gold. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the agreement, and I recommend it to you for your approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion to approve 11B9?
So moved.
Jim? Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to commend Chancellor Gold and the leadership for the perseverance and the work. From my seat, this is a really big deal and really, really important for lots of kids in the state of Nebraska, and the ability to continue to grow in the work and be able to provide services to pediatric patients that need cutting-edge surgery instead of having to go to Boston and other places in the country. And maybe I think appropriate to give a shout out to Team Jack, the work that they're doing for pediatric brain cancer awareness and funding, and it's been transformative, and it's been a part of UNMC and children, so kudos to all.
Thank you, Regent. Any other comments? Alicia?
Regent Miller,
Yes.
Regent Moore,
Yes.
Regent Schroeder,
Yes.
Regent Beal,
Yes.
Regent Schaefer, Regent Stark,
Yes.
Regent Whites,
Yes.
Regent Clare, Regent Kenny,
Yes.
Regent O'Connor,
Yes.
Regent Ferris,
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Our last item, item 11B10, seeks your acceptance of a gift from the Samuel Bach consisting of 512 paintings to establish the Bach Museum and Academic Resource Center at UNO. Again, as we previously discussed, on behalf of the university community, I want to express my deepest gratitude and appreciation to the Samuel Bach for his support and for his entire family support to the university. The Business and Finance Committee reviewed the proposed gift, and I recommend it to you for your approval.
Thank you, President Carter. Is there a motion for 11B10?
So moved.
Got a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Chancellor.
Thank you. I know this is the final item, but I would be remiss if I just didn't say that this is a historic opportunity for the University of Nebraska. Mr. Samuel Bach is probably the greatest living Holocaust artist, spent many years of his life in the camps in Europe and has painted as a child prodigy. This gift of 512 paintings is just the first of what will be over 3,500 pieces of art that are his personal retrospective going back to his earliest work at age 7 up to his current at age 86. He is a truly remarkable human being, and his art speaks to generations from the very young to the very old. It will be an opportunity to become a national and an international destination for those who study Holocaust art, genocide studies, and human rights, and will continue to build the University of Nebraska at Omaha as a world-class center for the academic pursuit of these studies. Clearly, it will take some philanthropic investment and a lot of careful stewarding to find the correct home to display and store and maintain this art over a period of time. But I do believe it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do this, and I'm very proud that the board has an opportunity to move this forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor, and thank you for the great work on putting this all together. Any other comments?
Regent Moore.
Yes.
Regent Schroeder.
Yes.
Regent Beal.
Yes.
Regent Miller.
Yes.
Regent Stark.
Yes.
Regent Whites.
Yes.
Regent Clare. Regent Kenny.
Yes.
Regent O'Connor.
Yes.
Regent Ferris.
Yes.
Regent Pillen.
Yes.
Regent Schaefer. The motion passes.
Finally, there are numerous reports for your review under the reports section.
Thank you, President Carter. I accept these reports listed in the agenda on the behalf of the board. Time to adjourn. There is no further business. If there's no objection, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.